If you're under 21, this is especially for you. I was talking to a young man the other day. He's 19, just finished his first year of college, and is really interested in real estate. And he asked me what advice I would give someone his age. And it really got me thinking about this question, as well as what I would have done differently in my career when I was starting out. Because trust me, I made a metric shit ton of mistakes in my life and my career. So if you're young, if you're in high school, college, or if you're in your early 20s and interested in real estate, whether it be development or something else, this is for you. Heck, even if your interests lie elsewhere, it doesn't really matter what industry. I think this will be relevant. So first off, if you're in college, seek out internships, especially in the summer, in the field that you think you're interested in. If you have a choice of getting a high-paying summer job, just making money, or a lower-paying internship with a company whose work you're interested in, take the lower-paying internship. Get direct exposure to the industry you want to work in. Ideally, in that internship, you'll get a rotation through multiple departments of that company so that you can get a feel for what various roles actually do day to day. Find people in those internships, in those companies who have been there for a while, who seem successful, and really find out what their day-to-day routines are. What are their job responsibilities? Whether they find the work that they do interesting and constantly challenging. Really get to know these people. Are they actually happy? Are they driven and passionate? Or are they miserable, overworked, and burned out? Are these people whose life you want to one day have? Are these people whose life you want to one day emulate? What we often think we want, when we end up there, turns out to be not what we envision at all. These internships are your opportunities to really dig into whether this is what you want. The second thing you should do is, and this is big, during the regular college season, even if you can do this in high school, if you're watching this and you're still in high school, do this. Take on jobs that will teach you soft skills that will pay off big later in life. Sales skills, social skills, negotiation skills. I highly urge anyone to spend at least a year waiting tables at a busy restaurant. I did for years. The experience will benefit you for your entire lifetime. I promise you, you will learn how to multitask, have attention to detail, handle high-pressure situations, and just plain work your ass off. Restaurant work is really hard work. And the added benefit of this is that for the rest of your life, you're guaranteed to treat the people that wait on you better because you've walked in their shoes and you've worked in their shoes. Take on gigs making phone sales, cold calling people, or collecting past due cards, credit cards. Most adults right now are petrified of picking up the phone and calling people they don't know. But so much in life that you see will be just on the other side of that phone call if you're not afraid to make it. Information, connections, deals. Go work at a used car dealership. Sell some shitty cars. Learn to sell. Learn how to get no over and over again. Go knocking on people's doors to sell them some mosquito extermination service. It's thankless work. It'll be scary. You'll get rejected and turned away 1,000,000 times. But you're going to build up resiliency. Incredible resiliency doing this. You learn not just how to talk to people face to face, but how to sell, how to face rejection in real life. All of these skills are being lost by younger generations. It's those skills that in the long term will be most valuable to you, especially as technology takes over more and more of what we do every day. Problem solving, sales, ability to talk to people, resiliency, patience, grit, and hard work. Then when you graduate college, even if you know you want to be an entrepreneur, even if in your heart of hearts you don't want to work for other people, my advice is go and work for other people for a few years. Go find a company that you one day hope to build yourself. Where do you want to be in 10, 15, 20 years? What kind of company do you want to have? Go work for that company. See how that company operates at a high level. What does their organizational chart look like? How do they hire and onboard employees and train them? How is the business structured? How do they conduct business day to day? So let's say, for example, I'm in college and I want to become a real estate developer. I know that's what I want to do. Maybe I've already done an internship with a development company and I have a basic understanding of what the business is like. Option one is just graduate and go off on your own. That's fine. With some grit, trial and error, and patience, you can be successful. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't. But consider option two. You go work for a top 10 developer in your area. You get direct exposure over 2 to 3 years into how they source the land, negotiate deals, go through entitlements, structure their financing, engage with architects and other professionals, structure agreements with their contractors and subs, design their buildings, perform asset management. You see firsthand how they structure their company, source and hopefully retain great employees, put in place HR policies. You see how the founder delegates work and achieves results at scale through building great teams of smart people. Imagine the lessons you're going to learn that you can then apply to building your own business. Imagine the painful mistakes and costly errors you'll avoid down the road. What about the relationships you'll build in those few years in the industry that you can then take away with you? Ethically, of course. Don't steal your boss's investors, for example, but banking and debt relationships are fair game, in my opinion. Industry professional relationships are potentially fair game. If in doubt, I always like asking first. Assuming you leave on good terms, ping your boss and say, hey, is it cool if I reach out to X architect or your contact at X firm? And on that note, there are even more potential benefits here. I say potential because you never really know when it comes to how people will treat you once you leave. But in the right situation, you will develop a lifelong network of mentors in your bosses and higher-ups who could potentially help you as you grow your business, or maybe even invest in your deals. Look, nobody likes or wants more competition, for the most part, right? But if you're working for the type of firm I'm talking about, doing 20, 30, 50, $100 million projects, you won't be a competitor to them in the beginning anyway. And the type of people who you want as your mentors are the types of people who aren't scared of competition anyway. They view competition as healthy. Rising tide lifts all boats and such. And remember, when you're out of college and starting out at that company, you're there to pay dues. You're there to pay your dues. You're there to work your butt off and learn, not earn. You're there to make the people around you more successful and more productive. Not to show everyone how bright and special you are. Trust me, I'm speaking from experience. Doing what I just described is what I wish I had done out of college. But I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with my life other than go to a big city and make lots of money. So I took a job on Wall Street that promised big paychecks and a glamorous lifestyle. And I did get that. I got paid well. I went out to nightclubs in New York, went to fancy restaurants and client dinners. But I also worked 70 plus hours a week. And I did work that it didn't interest or fulfill me. I was there for the money. Not only that, but I kneecapped my chances of success in that career by not understanding what I just told you, that I was there initially to make people around me more successful. Instead, I showed up to a trading floor on Wall Street at 21, acting like I knew everything and was smarter than everyone else. When in reality, I didn't know shit. I was incredibly immature. I had a massive chip on my shoulder being a first-generation immigrant that basically grew up dirt poor. I alienated a lot of people that would otherwise have been my mentors and advocates for me by being an entitled jerk, essentially. Looking back on it now, 20 plus years later, I recognize all the idiotic things my younger self did. But I wish someone took me aside back then and explained these things to me, like I'm trying to do here now to you. So if you're watching this and are trying to figure out what to do, don't chase the money or the career with the highest earning potential. Figure out what kind of work you can truly be excited about doing day in and day out. Figure that out by getting exposure to that industry while in college, but also don't forget to build the soft skills that will benefit you for your entire life. Even if that means taking uncomfortable, hard part-time jobs. Take on internships and jobs where you learn, and build connections, not earn. The money will come later. It will be a great side benefit to doing work you're passionate about. You wake up every morning excited to do. But otherwise, money is meaningless. If you're stuck doing work your entire life, work that you hate, what good is that money? So these initial few years when you're in college and right after are absolutely crucial. All right, so I hope you've enjoyed watching this. Thank you.